here, so because I pop up at 5:30. You know how I do it.
Yeah, I
You know
know.
what I mean? So let's go ahead and get it started, man. I'm actually low riding this chair, man. Let me get up a little bit. You know what I
I
mean?
see you,
So
though.
all
Chilling,
right,
man.
so boom, boom. Let's go ahead and get it started. All right, so let's go ahead and start the introduction. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself first, since you're the guest, and then let's
What's going on, my people? My people, my name is Hyman Limits with H&L Premier Realty, here to help you fulfill your real estate needs and dreams. Try to be fly like you, like B and CJ now.
right, right. Yeah, they be too fly. I mean more. You know, I used to host the college radio station, so I still have that college radio voice. I'm
Did
ready.
you?
Yeah, still to this day, more people listen to me than watch me. So this is what it is. I'm a radio. I got a radio.
What station was it?
Oh, in college, I forgot the actual, but it was in Sioux City, Iowa. I went to college in Sioux City, Iowa. But all right, so
Iowa. Lord
yeah,
have mercy.
Brandon B. Dixon, NMLS 1541210. I'm at BNL on also all social media. So go ahead, like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Also on YouTube, we were just talking about the Behind the Sauce show and the actual House Tours Lux. They're both available on YouTube. So go ahead and check those out. Go to my website, www.applywithb.com. Click the green button if you want to apply. If you want to book me for a consultation, I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to work off of appointments only, man. So it's getting to that point. So if you want to book me for a consultation, 30-minute consult, go to my website right there. Go ahead and book me, www.applywithb.com. Also, you can call me 832-775-8357. You call me 24/7. And don't forget at BNL on us on all social media, IG, so on and so forth. You go to my website, what's today's race.com, if you want to check out the daily rates. We're beating everybody. So, come check us out. If you got a pre-qual from anybody, come check us out. We'll go ahead and beat it. Also, Welt Wednesday's the second Wednesday of the month and the fourth Wednesday of the month. So next Wednesday, we're going to have Welt Wednesday at the Canton. So we're going to talk about private equity banking. We're going to talk about house hacking. We're going to talk about how to beat your 401k. We're going to talk about how your kids can get paid to go to college instead of paying to go to college. So we're going to talk about all that stuff. Welt Wednesday's at the Canton. And I want to thank everybody that came to the Collaboration Over Competition Investment Club Realtor Customer Appreciation Day this Saturday. We had a great turnout. We had about close to 400 RSVPs, about 150 people showed up. They had free crawfish. I have the video here. I was trying to get it to play, but it's 6 minutes, but it doesn't take too long. But got some good footage. People playing ping pong. They had the volleyball going on. We had a little quick dog show. People ate the free crawfish. We had shrimp. We had corn, potatoes. We had a bar out there, so it was hot, but it was, they had the fans out there. People had a good time. So I'd like to thank everybody that came out. We got another one coming out in September. I don't know what we're going to do this time. September, we might have a private comedy show, so I'm thinking about just renting out the Houston Improv and this, maybe inviting 100 elite guests, and then I'm going to have some comedians make fun of all y'all. So, so I might do something like that, invite my, some realtor friends and customers, elite customers and stuff like that. And sure, I want to see some of these comedians rib some of y'all, man. I want to see, I want that. I think that would be a great event, man. So
That would be nice.
yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about for the next one. Y'all stay tuned. We're gonna put it together. We putting our heads together right now for it. Also, last thing, COCinvestmentclub.com if you want to go ahead and invest. We got those monthly meetings coming up. So if you want to get an investment club, we like to thank everybody that showed up for the event, the second event. So 2 successful events this year. So next one we're gonna have to do in September, and then we're gonna do one in Atlanta or Dallas. So we got those coming up. We got to expand.
Going to Atlanta or D-Town?
Yeah, so we're gonna throw one in Atlanta or Dallas. We're trying to get some more members in different states. So so we're gonna keep on expanding. Plus, I do a lot of business in Atlanta, so I want to give some love, show some love to A-Town. So we just can't do one city. You know how we get down, man. So
is it difficult to based on the loan structure in Atlanta versus Texas?
No,
as far as the requirements,
it's the same. Actually, there's some better things. First of all, Georgia's not a community property state like Texas is. So you can have FHA, and you don't have to. I don't have to include the spouse. Then secondly, Georgia, you don't have to have a survey.
Really?
Yeah. So a couple of things are easier in Georgia. Only thing that's different in Georgia has these the state tax, where you have to sometimes transfer tax that you got to put on a CD. But other than that, it's pretty easy.
Isn't that the same thing here in Texas with the property tax? So they have a property tax and a state tax?
Yeah, they have a state tax too.
A state tax to when you buy property, you still got to pay a state tax, and when you sell?
Yeah. It's a transfer tax. That's state transfer tax.
How much is it?
$450 to $650. So that kind of equals the survey. So same thing.
Yeah, that's about the survey. Yeah.
Right. So same thing. So
well, at least with the survey, you got a piece of paper showing your boundaries that you can fight if you need to fight somebody about it.
Right, but there's really no difference. There's a couple, we could this nerd stuff. I don't want to get into. Illinois got some weird rules. Florida got weird rules, but that's nerd stuff. That's not interesting. That's what I keep telling people. I try to stick to stuff that's interesting. People don't want to hear about the weird. They're not buying property in Illinois, or they're not going to be on the loan side on Illinois. They don't want to hear about this stuff. Let's talk about the subject. Let's talk about the subject because I want to talk about that I seen this week. First of all, they had when was this, Monday, right? It was Monday or Friday that Apple announced the Vision Pro. With this new AI where it's the cell phone, basically, or iPad without an iPad. You just got some goggles on, and you're gonna do everything, watch your videos and do your conference calls straight from these goggles. Apple just unleashed the bank that without a bank, the savings account. I put a few G's in that Apple savings account. They trying to, it's 4.16%, savings, so that's
wow.
I had to throw some money to think about it. If you throw $1 million in, that's $40,000 a year. You can live off the
Really?
Yeah, you can live off the interest like back in the days.
And so when Apple just introduced that,
Apple introduced that about a month ago. So then I because I got the Apple card, so I get 3% back. So I'm getting the interest and the 3% back on everything I buy
with the Apple credit card.
Yeah, and it goes straight to the savings account.
Well, isn't the Apple credit card primarily used for online purchases more so than in store? How many? I'm still trying to figure out how many stores accept the Apple card now.
All of them. Yep, it's the metal joint. That's another thing. They think it's a black card or something like that, but it's white, but it's metal.
Yeah.
So I use that. That's the only thing I have in my wallet. I keep these other credit cards in my wallet. I keep on my desk. I don't even use these things. I use my Apple card. I gotta remember to use these once a year in order to keep them open. I use the Apple card, 3% back. Everywhere you got the Apple Pay, so you could load cards.
Oh, so you can use it as an Apple Pay too, then.
Right.
Now I know Apple Pay is everywhere. Okay, cool.
Right. So Apple.
So
Pay,
instead of you dropping your phone there, you just drop the card. Here you go, bang.
Right. You don't even need the card. Right. You could have it to your phone. You don't need. You can switch the numbers. There's no numbers on there. You can switch the numbers. So if you got, instead of canceling the call, you just switch the numbers.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice card.
It is nice.
So I use that more, and then the 3% goes straight to my savings account. Boom.
Off the rip.
That's
good, though. That's
nice.
That's
yeah, but the world is changing rapidly, man. So I was just telling Hyman off air that it was a thing like when I was I'm a grandma baby, a grandparent. I was raised by my grandparents. My parents were real young when they had me, so they were like 16, 17 years old. So my grandmother took me in. So there was a thing where she used to, after my grandfather got paid, that Thursday night or that Friday, she used to take the check and go pay bills. It was an all-day affair. Go to water company, sit in line. My grandfather used to stay outside in his van. Used to go inside, stay in that line, and catch the number and all that.
Yeah.
Now serving, boom, boom, 39. You have to, and then we go to these other places, go pay the phone bill, go to pay the electric bill. You know what I'm saying? It was a thing.
That was a thing.
Yeah. Now, you get paid, if it's not auto pay, you could just call or just go on go on the app and go ahead and pay.
That is very true. My mom still does that. She still goes to the grocery store to pay her cable bill and to pay a life insurance policy.
Right. But everybody, you could virtually do in 5 to 10 minutes. We used to take all day.
All day.
So
I remember those days, though.
I'm saying that to say this. That was, 30 years ago. A little bit 35 years ago. I remember, even 10 years ago, it was a thing that you still had to actually go in the store, or you had to go to the restaurant to actually go get something to eat.
Yes, before they had delivery service. Yes. Yeah,
that was actually less than 5 years ago. So now I don't leave the house. I get groceries. I get food. I get hot food. I get everything ordered.
For real. Do you even leave the house, B?
I don't. Sometimes I got to crank my car because I hadn't left the house in years during the pandemic. That's how I never got sick. You don't have to. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So it'd be weeks sometimes. Boom.
Do you ever feel the need to go out and just see people and talk to people other than online and what you doing now?
What are you talking about? I talk to people, 100 people at least a day.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. The interaction other than over the phone.
Nah, I'm talking to you like I talk to you know what I'm saying? Video phone all day. I talk to people all day. I actually need to decompress. Like,
that's understandable.
Like all right, I don't want to talk to nobody right now. That's actually my seriously. Nah, for real. Everybody want to talk to me, which is a good thing. Everybody, even my partner, man, what's going on, So like, man, we'll talk. Me and my partners will chop it up a little while, but I talk all day. Like, you talking about human interaction, I mean, it's still from a distance.
Yeah.
You ain't really, you might tap somebody up or something like that, but that's, you ain't sitting there cuddling with somebody, you know what I mean? So it's a different, it's still it's different, So, I mean, yeah, there was a little bit of cabin fever, I think, for all of us once we were at the height of it. But that's kind of gone out. Even at the height of it, you still was going out with a mask.
That is true. Very true.
So you once a week, twice a week. But that's why I struggled on whether I should order the range or not. I wound up ordering. That's just for the people. It's not really for me.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna sit in the garage most of the time. You know what I mean? It's gonna look good for camera, but it's gonna sit there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just for the people. All right, yeah, man, he's making money. That's all that's for. So, but how things are going with that artificial intelligence, is it really necessary for your business to market in a communal sense, to really know thy neighbor and, really market from a local geographical standpoint? Because even from the get-go, it's almost a contradictory. I've always been whoever likes me,
right?
From an international, not from an interstate standpoint, not international.
Yes.
So that's why I'm licensed in 6 states.
Yes.
California, Georgia, Louisiana. People that reach out to me the most: Florida, Illinois, Chicago area. People that, I like this dude. And they reach out.
Right.
So I'm trying to get more local, in the community, visual. That's why we're doing the events. However, is it all for naught? Because with how things are going is very, people, I think we get more diverse. At the same time, we're getting more compartmentalized.
Man, I mean, that's a great question, B. That is a great question.
This is the type of stuff I think about.
Man, that's a great question, because if you don't embrace the technology, you'll be left behind. Like we always debate and discuss about how business has changed and how you got to keep up with the times of how business has changed, but yet still be able to balance the fact that you may need to go shake a hand. You may need to look a guy in the eye and say, I'm here to help you. Right. And with the new improvements with AI, right? that can take over so much of what we do. The AI can make the phone, well, the AI can send the emails for us, can send the text messages for us, can even create a great discussion point without you even having to think about it.
Right.
And at some point, you're just going to have to learn how to embrace that technology and use it to the benefit and work with it until you have to come in and meet somebody face to face and close the deal personally. As far as doing a community thing, I think the community thing works with the idea of getting into more people's spheres, right? So when you did when you do the competition over collaboration events, right? You're not, you're not. I don't think the idea is to create a connection with them directly. You're just trying to create a connection with them and their sphere. So if they know you get to know them a little bit, but then they may not need you, but they'll say, well, I know this guy, he was nice, here, try him, B Dix. And now you're in their circle to keep moving forward through their circles.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit both directly and it's creating a market. You know, like I said before on a few shows back, is marketing is creating a market for yourself.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? You do that through reciprocity. So
yeah.
I fed you. You lick it up. You full of that crawfish, and you feeling good. Who did it?
B Dix did it, man.
So man,
then that makes them come back to the show to learn more about you.
Right.
Like I've been watching the show for about 6 months before I even got on.
Right.
And I wanted to understand who you were. I wanted to understand what your show was about. I went and watched some of your old shows to get a better idea of what you do and why you do it. So if I ever was to come on, I could be prepared. And I think a lot of us do that anyway.
Right.
And especially when you go out there and feed them where you feed them and give them full of them drinks. Now they really finna go check out your content and boost your following and boost your traffic.
Right.
My concern is all that traffic and all that energy and money that you put there.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think the return is going to come in? That you say, okay, I met you at the COC, man, and I just had to work with you. Has any of that happened just yet? Because
all the time. That's why this stuff is free. You know, just like
that's good.
Yeah,
I'm glad you guys get seeing your returns, man.
Yeah, you definitely see your returns. You got to make a deposit before you make a withdrawal.
Yeah,
so shoot, I'm working on right now. Actually trying to, I don't want to say it out loud because they do watch the people that, but I'm working on one that's going to be probably like $40,000-$50,000 commission on one.
That's good. That's good.
So you meet, you meet people and you do things. It's all gonna be worth it. Then that relationship that you form, that's ongoing. You eat residually off that.
Especially when you close the deal, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you give them a chance. Because think about it. Now they're lowering their guard. Now you're human. Now I'm not just this, big scary black dude with a beard. This dude, I've seen him online. I've seen him. I kicked it with him, and he's funny. And shoot, now don't forget that when you do something nice for people, they feel obligated to do something nice for you. So you can just see the people Saturday. Dixon, oh man, that was awesome, man. Thank you for that. Oh, cool. Here you go. Don't forget my card. Who do you think is gonna, if they need some situation, they're gonna be your advocate. They're gonna cheerlead for you.
Of course. 100%.
100%. Yeah, 100%. So that's marketing.
I thought that was good. I thought that was nice. I really think it was really nice how you was able to pull that off twice. Because I know how hard it is to pull events off, man, and hopefully you get enough people to create that market that you're looking for.
Right. Well, yeah, you gotta start with your. That's why I always say, if you want to take over the world, you gotta start off with your block. And you start off with who? Start off with your block. People that, and this particular show right here is, and this is what I wanted to get into naturally, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. This is do we need to redefine block?
Yeah. Yeah, your block can't be just
geographically your block.
Yeah, it can't be just that no more, right? It's that's where you like to talk about. If you're not embracing this technology to create, expand, no, your block just can't be the four corners where your house is at. Your block in all honesty, your block has to be the world.
Right.
And you're competing with everybody else to get a piece of the world.
or the block. What I'm thinking is the block is the people that like you.
Yeah.
Because the people that cheerlead for you, like you service them, and you're their guy. They're gonna tell other people. They're gonna start remarking. Then you could get more and more. Then you could do. Then it goes back to the old school stuff you were talking about a few episodes ago, where now I can get the family, now I can get the friends, now I can get the associates.
True, 100%, 100%.
But define block instead of geographically. Start off as my compartmentalized block, my block that likes me, my block of this digital footprint, my footprint. So people who like the Saints, people who like what I'm talking about, like you said, you stuck around because you like the show, you like you're not going to sit there and watch content that you don't like, so you must like the content. So people with that same energy and the same frequency are going to gravitate towards you.
That's true.
And then from there, then if you fall in line with what I offer, who else would you go through? It'll be tough. Like, all right, man, we didn't me and B that kicked it, and he didn't fed me full of crawfish, and you know what I'm saying. And the first time we had soul food the first time. we had what we had the first time crawfish pasta and crawfish and seafood pasta.
Yeah.
Did you go to the first? You didn't go to the first one, right?
I knew where it was. I had a party that day.
Yeah. So
every time you do something, I have a party that day to do. I do party. I got a 360 photo booth that we work on the weekend sometimes.
Right. So the food was actually good. Baked chicken, seafood pasta.
Can't go wrong with that. And some string beans. Was it string beans on the menu?
Yeah, string beans. Yeah. So, yeah, we had.
That's the classic meal, right?
It was good because Johnny sister made it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was homemade.
Wow.
So they put their foot in it. That baked chicken was seasoned. I'm talking about seasoned to perfection.
To perfection. She was in there cooking all night and all morning.
Man, it was man. I took a pan of that home. I ate good for a few days.
That's how you do it, though.
But my point is, like, so in the Fed, you got your food. Everybody's still talking about the first one. Then we hit with the second one. So it's gonna be real hard if you in my space to go outside of my space.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that is very true. You got to give you the opportunity after doing all that.
Right. So and then like I said, it's not. And I'm offering them a couple of things. I'm offering education. I'm offering collaboration. You get in this investment club, so on and so forth. So it's not just food I'm offering opportunity as well.
That's nice opportunity with the food. You can't go wrong with that.
So yeah,
can't go wrong with that.
Making a big deposit before you make a withdrawal.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, so that's the point of what I'm saying is like, but my community, these people are from all over the place. I got people in Atlanta, I got people in Illinois, I got people in California. That's why we need to, it's the balance. Like, do you start off with just your community? And I know some people that try to do that, but you limit yourself. Not everybody in the community gonna like your, like what you're putting down.
Right. So I guess you with what you're doing is how many? Okay, you have a set folks that shows up every time. Do you think? Are you targeting? Say, okay, I need another 20 more people that I've never met to show up. How do I get those extra 20 people out?
No, my game plan is to get them by like the 50 to the hundreds. So, like I said, 75 people showed up this time. I mean, last time, about 150 showed up this time. Then I'm gonna try to double that 300 because I still think that even though it's a trickle residual,
right?
You might get 4 or 5 that might do business right now that pays for it. But it might be a year later, somebody, hey, I was at the first one. And I remember you for the first. I got your call for the first one. Boom. Now, don't forget, I still got it's still the behind the scenes stuff as well. I still got the email. I'm still hitting them. Hey, don't forget to come out to this next one.
Yeah. So you are taking down the information. They when they RSVP, you get to keep the email and phone number.
That's what Eventbrite.
Put them on some type of email campaign or something.
Drop them in the database. So I thanked everybody for coming out immediately, and I sent them my flyer attached to that.
All right, that's how you do it.
Yeah, so boom. So keep me in mind if you got anybody.
And they're gonna open it, right? Because they won't feel like it's spam.
Right. exactly.
That's beautiful, right
Came
there.
in, boom. So I did that Sunday. So people have already sent me 2 people, and these are not small deals. These are big commercial deals.
That's good, though. That's
Yeah,
good.
this is only Tuesday, so I thought I already got one pre-qualified.
That's good, man. That's
Yeah,
real
so
good. I'm glad to hear that.
yeah, it'd be automatically. Then I got in touch with realtors that we hadn't deal. I had one guy I hadn't deal with about 3-4 years. Oh man, I didn't even know it was you. I hit him through my database.
Yeah.
For free crawfish.
Come get the free food, man.
Right. Boom. Oh man, that was yeah. So now you remember my work.
Mm-hmm.
So you've already sent me 2.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you had a good turnout, B.
Right.
I'm glad you had a good turnout.
So, but I wanted to be about this, but we're using this as an example.
Yes.
On as a crosscut of what I'm showing you an example of kind of what I'm doing. But my thing is it, do I need to focus mainly on technology, or do I still need to make an impact in the community? Like,
I think you should do a 70-30. A 70-30 is a good split of quote unquote technology and 30% of that community. But when you hit that 30%, it's gonna have to be a hard 30%. Like your COC is a great 30%. Like if you do the COC, if you're doing a COC event every quarter, you trying to put cards on the flyers and stuff like that, it's irrelevant. You do better just saving your time, your money, your energy,
right,
and hit it hard right there with that 30%. Because if you do another return and you get 325 to come out to your next one, right? So out of that 325, you can expect probably a return on your investment made by 10%. So you might get 30 people that's gonna do deals with you over the next year,
right?
That but you probably wouldn't have done deals.
Yeah, one will pay for it.
Yeah, and so
first of all, let's clarify this with the sponsors and all that. We actually make a profit on this. So that's another twist that I don't pay for jack.
That's good.
Yeah, you know, this is, I'm giving up too much game on this, but not everybody gonna want to do events. But you got an event where you don't. Not only is it a tax write-off, but the vendors and all that pay for it. The sponsors pay for it. Because they want to pay for it. Your insurance company gonna pay for it.
Yeah, because they want to get those email addresses and phone numbers too of those different agents that they can try to market to
the people. They don't get my email address.
Oh, they don't get the email address?
No. I get the exclusive rights to. You're gonna have to work your jelly in there. That's what you're paying for.
Wow.
I got all the digital rights.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so
yeah, man, that's hard, but it's fair. It's hard, but it's fair.
No, but they get an opportunity to get in front of people. How many people could bring that many people together? Most people can't put 2 flyers together.
So now, when you do this thing at the Improv, it makes sense now because your track record is proven. Say, look, I'm gonna do that bigger and bigger here. You want to be a part? I want to put you in. It's gonna cost you $300 this time. They go like 300. Like, yeah, I'm expecting X amount of people.
Might want to go up a little bit.
I mean, just use that as a number.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you want to be a part, they be like, shit, B Dix is good. We're gonna have to try this because if he's had so many people, and they might get their opportunity in return on it as well.
Right. Exactly.
See
how that works?
Yeah.
So actually, I'm getting paid to market, and it's a tax write-off.
Yeah, 100%.
So immediate. Any one deal is immediate return.
Immediately. On the 70-30 of technology versus the geographic, yes, I do think that eventually in the next 10 years, that 30% is going to go down to about 10%. 10% geographically, and that 10% is mainly going to be just a closing meeting where you meet somebody, say how you doing, shake their hand, so they know you're a real person versus a damn machine because they've been dealing with the machines for so long. Because the direction that AI is going, so that 10% is going to primarily be in that realm,
right? And
it's going to be 90% of your technology where you're utilizing the AI, where you're utilizing the chat GPT on an even more higher level, where you're utilizing the video production work from somewhere else other than China, something like that. You're outsourcing. It's already been created by AI for you and you just go ahead and just implement putting your banners and your information to it.
I think what's going to happen this is coming immediately in the next 2 to 3 years. You've seen the Vision Pro, where you're able to do the TED Talks and the meeting in front of thousands of people virtually. And you look, you're sitting there, you're in a room like a Zoom, but you're able to interact with them like a town hall, but it's more than just a flat screen. It's now 3D.
Yeah. Wow.
Now it's going to change real estate as well, because now instead of I could buy anywhere now, because now I can do the 3D model tour through my Vision Pro. I could walk through the house virtually.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be almost imperative that you be multi-state, because there's more opportunity. I don't have to be there.
Yeah, you don't have to be there to open doors. You don't have to be there to drop signs. Everything can be done that way. I
could just hop on. Hey, it gives you 3D model. Boom. You look through the house. You can virtually look through the house.
With the 3D model, with that, because right now we have them, but that's expensive as hell, because you got to get the 3D that 3D camera that sits on the pen.
Right.
It's made like this to get that.
Right. I'm talking about.
But yeah, at that point, yes, that will be. That's going to get cheaper as well.
From now,
Yeah.
20, end of the 2020s.
Yeah.
Where the real estate business is going. So it's going to be only the it's going to start with the luxury space. If you're already bombarding in that luxury space, you're going to have the money to go ahead and get the cameras, and the people that's already affluent and it's already got money going to be having these $3,500 for these Vision Pros. They're going to start off.
Yes.
And before everybody going to have them. It's just like iPhones. When they first came out in 2007, there was one guy on the plane with an iPhone. Everybody else had flip phones. Now everybody. Now you got kids. My daughter had an iPhone since she was like 10 years old.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's very true about that. And that luxury space, to have the 3D modeling the way we're speaking of, is that going to be a service that us as agents would have to cover? Because like right now, to do a 3D, yes, the agent has to pay for that.
Yeah, right. And
do a 3D rendering.
You don't forget this competition, so you're going to want to one up everybody. So you're going to look what I got. And then I'm going to be servicing customers, not just in the States, internationally. I already see the people selling Dubai.
Yes, that does benefit the international. Yeah, the international buyers.
So
yes.
Now I can own real estate throughout the world now.
Yes.
And so that
is very true.
So now I'm not just here locally selling in Houston.
Yeah, that does help the international buyer a lot.
So that's why the Crossroads, does community mean here in Katy, Texas? Or community means people that like me. That way I could expand. And 5 years from now, I have a block that's a digital not just a block. I got a digital city of people all over the world that like Brandon B. Dixon. That way I can sell in Panama. I can sell in Dubai.
Man, I think that's what we've been going in that direction for the past 10 years now, where everything will be your international real estate is damn near has to be just as important as your local real estate. Like how you say Katy, Texas, then you got to be able to kind of be able to thrive and bring people in from an Atlanta, from a California. Like for me, I've had 3 California deals, and I think I got a Midwest deal coming down the pipe, right? And I'm like, damn.
Right.
It's one of those things that you gotta be prepared for it and understand how those folks operate that way.
Right. The states are kind of local, and just think about people's money getting right now.
Yeah.
Especially in our community. If everything's, hopefully they don't collapse the community. The United States. Let's put it on an optimistic spin. Star Trek world. We're constantly progressing, right? If we, keep on this path, everybody's making more money everywhere, so eventually planes and stuff, because right now they everybody want to get me the broker charter. Everybody on their own planes now. So pretty soon, planes and private planes ain't gonna be nothing.
No, it probably won't be.
Yeah, it's getting to that point where commercially it's gonna be real cheap. It's gonna be like a bus ticket in a minute. It's already Spirit like what? Spirit offered what $300 for unlimited flights or something like that for 6 months or something like that. What was that thing that Spirit offered? $600.
When they was trying to compete.
Yeah,
during when
but
the fuel was high, or when the fuel got low, they wouldn't get enough passengers or something.
right, Spirit's gonna. I mean, you're gonna get to that point where you got the commercial where people gonna fly coast to coast. It's gonna be real cheap. You know, it's gonna get to that point, especially once the technology get there with electric car, everything electric and stuff like that. It's gonna get to that point where flying is a commodity. You know, you got everybody getting flued out. I was, I'm from 10 years ago, man. Shoot, fly girl out. That was a luxury. You was big balling. And you got average Joe's not flying girls out. I thought I was 10 years ahead of my time. I was flying 10, 15 years ago. I was flying them out. You know what I mean? So
I hope we didn't have a problem. I hope we didn't have the same problem that young men having nowadays flying them out, B Dicks.
Nah,
it was what the expectation was.
Man, it was different. The expectation was great because everybody couldn't have had that capability of flying out. Now everybody can fly out now. It's so you see what I'm saying? See how it's changed?
Yes.
So you got to think 10 years ahead of time, man. You're gonna have people gonna have. Remember, this is a black thing. You know what I mean? Maybe some. This is it's a player thing. Let's put it like that.
Player thing.
Yeah. So you had a girlfriend maybe on different sides of the city.
Of course.
One on the north side, one on the south side.
Yes.
Now it's changed. You can have one in Atlanta and one in California, and you can spend equal time with them.
True.
See how quickly that's changed? That wasn't possible 10, 15 years ago.
Nah, it wasn't. You got to put a lot of miles on your little old car.
Yeah, you have to be big baller because don't forget, a few years ago, a trip to California, round trip was $800, $900.
Oh yeah, that was right. That's right. Before the pandemic hit, it was.
Yeah, so now it's like $400. You get to Atlanta for like $250 round trip.
On the right day, it'd be $185.
Right.
On a Wednesday. Leaving out Wednesday night.
Then don't forget the dollar like $800. That was like $1,500 nowadays.
Yeah, that was a lot of money back then.
You see what I'm saying? So it's different. So my point is that I'm saying all that to say this: that 10 years from now, 5 years from now, flying ain't gonna be nothing.
Nah.
Internationally,
you make a valid point about flying won't be as what it is today, like it wasn't what it was back 10 years ago.
Right.
But the question would be what would it be? Would it be to the fact that everything will be so much electric where the planes will be fueled by the sun, fuel packs,
probably
to where they bring it even cheaper?
Yeah, so they're gonna invent something. And then it's just competitive. If everybody trying to fly private now, and then private has become common. And the private industry is taking over. Nobody gonna fly commercial. Commercial gonna have to drop their prices.
Got to drop their rates.
So it's just getting more and more common. You see?
Yeah.
So it's this, and I'm saying that to say that's how it relates to our business, real estate, is that now you're gonna have more people that's international.
Yeah, we do. You do have to get strong on your international business, and you got to start now. To be honest with you,
right? You need to start now because what's gonna happen is that's where it's going. Because think about it. People we're behind. We're the last to the table. We're last to the cool kids, the last to the dinner table. I'm talking about our community. Other nationalities have been doing this for years, where they go. We were talking about this off air, where $600 in India, you probably pay a couple of households.
Yeah.
So why not make all the money here and then go spend it and live where you can live like a king, cheaper?
True.
So
just accustomed to the culture here.
Right. But once we start going international, Africa, Thailand, they already got the passport brothers right now that's going flying. And 10 years from now, it's gonna be normal. So we're gonna be like other nationalities, and we're gonna settle somewhere else, and we're gonna go get our money here.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be possible because you could work off your phone, you can work off these goggles. I don't have to be physically present. I could be anywhere in the world.
That is one of the benefits of technology that you're able to generate income from anywhere in the world.
Right.
Anywhere.
So
like anywhere. And as long as you have an internet connection and a phone, like how you just had it, and with this new technology with the goggles, the world becomes even more unlimitless to us,
right.
even more so than what it is already, you know.
Right.
So but for us as agents, we really do have to learn how to embrace those moments and learn how to navigate in those spaces as far as internationally, understanding the culture of India, understanding the culture of Africa, understanding the culture of Thailand, and how do you do business, because all those countries are still buying real estate here.
Right. They still, but I think it's going to be a shift. I think we're going to start buying just like everybody want to come by. They want to get here because it's the rental rate is so great. You could invest these properties people are going to rent. But however, they're going to be a shift. Right now, what they're doing is they're making a big gap between rich and poor. So poor people are going to be stuck here. The rich people are going to expand. They're going to start expanding and going, like I said, going to different countries and stuff where it's less, I can get a lot for a little. Costa Rica, Belize, them to get a whole island. You know what I mean? Yes. For a fraction of the cost. And I can live like a prince. And they got all the modern luxuries. That's another thing. That's a farce that these third world countries are not technologically sound. That's false. They have Wi-Fi. They have everything.
Yes, else. They're not third world anymore. They like the mainstream medium does like to portray third world countries in the manner as if there's nothing really going on when there's not. That's nowhere near the case.
Right.
As far as the technology and the services go, now the services won't be as fast, but it works just enough for what you need it to do.
Works. Yeah,
because if you're not when you're living in those places, like you say, if you're living like the prince and the king, your service is going to be way better than the everyday person that's been living that doesn't have the access to what you have.
Think about what I just said earlier. We talked about earlier in the show. I don't really leave the house.
Yeah.
Think about if I could do this grander and cheaper somewhere else.
Very true. Very true.
I don't have to leave the house. I just make my appearances. Hey, man. But I can do it at a fraction of the cost. The same footprint I have right here in Katy, Texas, I could have a mansion somewhere else.
Yes, that is very true. And there is no real drawbacks to someone like you, B, because your daughter's an adult. You're single. You could just go out and just live it the way you want to live, and the only person you worry about taking care of is you.
Right. But even
that is very true, though.
The world is smaller. My daughter lives in Dallas. It's a 45-minute flight.
Okay. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So the world is smaller.
Man, that's true. That's true. My question is, what are some things that we can do now to kind of pump up the international business, even through social media and things like that?
My answer, you don't like to hear. I think you can't do none of this without a big digital footprint.
Well, to create the footprint globally.
Right. Don't forget, social media is global.
I thought Facebook put a restriction on the fact that you can't.
I get people from India. How you think I meant to do? You know what I'm saying? I get people from India all day, every day, and different countries.
Well, I thought you got to do it from India, from like Fiverr, but you said it was something totally different.
No. He requested me to be on his show. He seen my show and liked my show, and he requested me to be on his podcast. And then it was a good. I think it was a good pitch. He did his form of reciprocity digitally. He gave pumped me up on his podcast and then hit me with the sales pitch.
Of course.
So that was great. It was reciprocity. I wind up doing business with him. Hey, man, I do editing, boom, 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 boom. Here go the packages.
Well, the thing about it is that, okay, yes, through social media and through everything like that, but what is the information that you need to say, okay, I'm targeting international, not necessarily nothing local? That's what I'd be wondering. Like,
I would say I would say you first have to have some type of tie to there. So how can you talk about I'm going to sell Dubai and I've never been? I can talk how you can talk about selling Dubai. You don't even understand the culture. So I would say have some type of tie to there. At least have been and tied to the culture somewhere. So if you're gonna sell Jamaican, you're gonna sell Jamaican, be Jamaican. If you're gonna sell Nigeria, be Nigerian or something to that effect. Or your family from Belize or something.
True, that is very true. You got to have some type of connection. I agree 100%. That's what I think about.
Right, you just can't. I'm gonna pick Italy.
Some type of connection.
Nobody knows you're in Italy. I've never been. How you gonna sell internationally? You don't have no connection to that. Now, if you've been to Italy and I've got family there and I go all the time, and and I could blog about it and talk about it. Yeah, you got something to work with.
You got something to work with.
But if you have no ties to it, I don't see where. I think you have to put a game plan if you want to be an international salesperson. First of all, it starts with your digital footprint, but I would say start making trips and start documenting it.
Yeah, that's true.
Start documenting. Hey, I've been to Nigeria. I'm going to eventually get my license out here, and and be able to sell real estate out here or whatever. You form community from there. Get with other influences in that particular country and start cross-referencing your brand. But you got to have your brand is digital now.
True.
Period. I don't. 10 years from now, if you don't have a digital face, I think you're gonna fall by the wayside. I think I said this several times. I think less and less people are getting out. Meaning getting out like out and about and just randomly meeting somebody.
Nah, yeah, it's not. Yeah, you're right about that. It's not like how it used to be where you could just walk up and meet Joe Schmo. It's not like
people. I think the pandemic put a stamp on it. They even said there's studies that men are not even approaching women like they used to.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so I think if they don't know you from online, you don't have a chance. You're almost like a weirdo.
And that's tough though, man. You can't really talk to people like that.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying socially, that's how it's becoming.
Yeah, socially. That's what I mean, socially. Because we're in a social business.
Right.
And that's tough.
People want to see your personality. You can't that the days are gone. It's like where people don't know you anymore. That's gone. Where you could I have a nice phone voice that I could, hi guys, and I can sell a whole bunch. Or I have a nice elevator pitch in house to house.
Yeah.
Snake oil salesman. That's gone. Now they're gonna want to know, like you just said earlier. They're gonna watch you. They're gonna go back to the old stuff. They're gonna see if you're consistent. They're gonna try to hate you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's very true. It's very, very true. So in essence, we're gonna have to really learn how to reinvent what we do digitally from the physical aspect to the digital aspect.
Right.
And that's just what it is.
Unless you got a whole bunch of money and you're able to do investments where you don't have to deal with the public. That's another alternative. I could sit there and just do my real estate investment and I don't have to deal with the public. I can be private. I could acquire businesses privately. And you bet you gotta have a whole bunch of money.
Yep. Whole bunch.
You know what I'm saying? But if you got to deal with the public, there's only two ways you're going to be able to deal with the public. If I got a W-2, I work for somebody else. I'm still got to deal with the public, but I'm just not getting paid as much.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have to be an entrepreneur. Either way you go, if you got a brick and mortar, if you do what we do as agents, if either way, you're going to have to, people want to check you out and not just a business, a face on the card. That's getting out of here. As you see, I don't know if you've seen the difference, but older people, Generation X on up, baby boomers, they'll deal with you just off that they like your card.
True. Very true. Very, very true.
Millennials, and all that, they're going to Google you.
Yeah.
They're going to check out your podcast. They're going to check out your IG. They're going to check out your Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some Generation X's as well. They're going to check you out.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't had a lot of. I'm trying to think how many millennials do I work with a Generation X. Very few.
Right. Or you
Very
can do it. This is what we're. You could get in and get out too. I'm giving too much game or this right. You could build it up, build a system. That way you ain't got to deal with it, but you got to build it up quickly and get up out of there. You know, and let them deal with the system that you put in, because somebody gonna have to be the face.
That is very true. That is very true.
And yeah. You see?
When it comes down to millennials and Gen Xers, I'm still trying to think what's my record with them. I think it's super low.
Right.
I do well with the the baby boomers, then the millennials, right? Then the Gen X
right underneath us. Millennials are what, 81 or 80 to 89 or something like that. 90.
So I'm 78. So that makes me a Gen Xer, right?
Gen X, yeah.
Okay, I do well with the baby boomers. Period. That's
right. So they
do well with them.
That's like early 70s.
Yes.
60s.
Yes.
That's like
I do well with them. The the ones behind us, I'm okay. I'm okay with converting with them.
Right.
But we get lost in the sauce because of the way I think and the way I present myself. Some people can say I can present myself too strong or too subtle in certain situations. So
right.
Maybe because of the art, learning the art of how to sell and how to mimic, learning how to mimic your potential client. Maybe that's what it is.
Right. Well, the thing with millennials is that, our Gen X and millennials are similar. Is when you get to the zillennials is different. Zillennials that's the people that's born like at 2000.
Yeah.
Like
late 90s, like our kid, like when my kids' age.
Like our kids, yeah. Our kids are different.
Yeah, they're a whole nother animal. I'm like, what?
They're not messing. If they don't see your presence, they can't check you out. They don't like you. They're not gonna do business unless they have to.
That is true.
Unless they have
my kids buy more stuff off of Instagram than I ever thought. Like, what you buy that from off of Instagram? Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Right. Well, the thing is, they'll buy impulse stuff. If it's there for people that they don't know, but big ticket item like what we're selling, real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to know you. They want to know that, hey, you're into the Saints like I am. You're into, you got to have some type of connection.
But even with that age group, they're not really into a team. They may be into a couple of players. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I'm just using that as everybody not into sports. So might be.
Yeah, that's another thing about those kids. Right. They're not really into sports like that.
Yeah. So it could be anything else. They're into Wicca. They're into emo.
Yeah, it's all kind of different. Like, what the hell is that? I'll be like, where did that come from? What is that?
Right. They're into power. Some people into Pokemon. They're into I'm into, as you can see back there, I'm into collecting 80s toys. So, and I'm into dogs. What do you think the dog stuff come here, man? That's a huge,
I know,
big community. So I help a lot of dog people. Because Frenchies is the number one dog now.
The bad boys are expensive too. I remember they weren't that expensive back about 5-10 years ago.
Right. So you gotta hook yourself to some trends, or something that's really with you. But they gotta have some common interests.
That is very true. That's very true. I don't have a lot of common interests with with the young ones, with the young adults.
You do. Me and my daughter reconnected. I mean, we both love dogs.
True. That's a good one.
So we complete opposites. I'm very, very capitalistic. She's more,
liberal.
Not help the world and give it all away type. And then pay bills later on. So, and I used to, her 16th birthday, I got her 48 laws of power. So, rich dad, poor dad, these all the stuff that she had since she was 12 years old. So,
yeah,
she, maybe, the kids want to be different than us,
they honestly believe that because the world is changing so fast that some of the principles that's been passed down through generations won't be there. And that's 100% false. Right. Yes, the world is changing, but some of the most basic principles has not changed. The principles of how to do business, the principle of understanding relationship, and the principles of money. They have not changed since the dawn of time.
Right. Right.
Now, how we do those things, yes. How you build your relationships, how you handle your finances, how you develop things, yes, that can change. But the fact that you have to do it does not.
Right. Well, I think with her is like I said, I'm always talking about money, making plays. That's why I'm here. So it's my purpose in life. So again, she has a different purpose. So she's not as infatuated with it. Like I love to create. I love to just like with the collaboration of a competition. That creating that makes it blows me. It makes me whole as an individual. Like just making plans and watching them execute and watching them work. I love that, and making money at the same time.
I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I enjoy preparing, and well, for me, it's about since because of what I do now is a lot of just talking and putting people in position to make the next move, which is buy a house and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual physicality of taking something from one thing into a process and let it finish to something else, right. I've come to really enjoy that. So I don't pay nobody to cut my grass no more. I cut my own grass. I fertilize my grass. I weed eat my grass. You know what I'm saying? I trim all my bushes. Like I'm gonna do some work on my deck this weekend. I really kind of enjoy the physical aspect of working to create something. It start one way, then you create it to make it something different. Very, very, very relieving to the brain.
That's your ticket right there. Your social media presence. I was literally watching somebody the other day because it was relaxing, and I do lawn work. I'm sitting there watching in the shade. I'm kicked up with my dog right here. I'm watching. She interested too. She watching. He weed eating. He's chopping it up, and all he do is he speed it up like 1 or 2 times. And so he watches. Take his whole thing. He's go to these toe up yards, and then you watch him clean it from beginning to end, but he's sped up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it's like relaxing, like damn. Let me see how clean he can get this.
Yeah. And that for me, it was like I used to watch those DIYs. I watched the one guy in India make a pool out of clay.
Right.
Put it up with water. I've seen that.
Yeah, something like that. You just want to let me see how this turn out.
Yeah, I was spending 10 minutes of your day doing that. Right. So now I do that with my yard. I still want to see how green I can get it. Want to make sure all
you got to do is put this in front of you, Do the same thing you've been doing. Same thing you love to do. Put this in front of it and then put it out there, and you're gonna find people that like the same stuff. I guarantee you. You got 8 billion people in the world. Somebody ain't you're not special. Somebody like the same stuff you like. You see what I'm saying?
Of course.
So I know I ain't the only one because I know how much these bad boys cost. You know what I'm saying? That I'm not the only one that's infatuated with these little transformer cars.
Does that transform? Who is that?
Transform. You better believe.
Is that Hydro? Is that the one that shoot the fire that has a water cannon on the side that turn into a fire truck?
No, that's not it. This is the one with the water cannon on the side. I already got them in pose position.
Yeah, I remember those. These transform those. You drive them. You ain't got no Thundercats back there, do you?
I need to get some. Now when I get my next crib, I'm gonna have a whole room that's nothing but toys.
I hear you, dog.
Ceiling to the floor, glass displays and nothing but toys.
What about Voltron? You gonna get Voltron?
I like Voltron, but my thing was Transformers, Star Trek, and
Star Trek made toys. I thought they only did was the ship, and they did a couple of figurines. Captain Kirk. Yeah, Captain Kirk.
I gotta have data. I still got the boy in the box, man. Come on.
Yeah, I think they had I thought they had a limited run on toys.
Then I got these things foolish right here. You know how much they redoing these things for?
Master of the Universe?
Yeah.
The He-Man. Well, that's the He-Man.
The Sunman. That was the black. I was before He-Man.
That's Master of the Universe, right?
Yeah, but Sunman was before He-Man.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
See, this is a remake. If that was original, I'd be worth some money. But that's a remake. They reissued it last year. I stood on a waiting list for 6 months to get one. Yeah, but it's still gonna be rare, so I'm gonna still keep it.
It kind of reminds me of Gary Vee. You know, I learned about Gary Vee. He likes to go to garage sales and find old vintage stuff and then sell it back on eBay.
Right. I don't know if you remember Kwame. Purple, you know, girl, you know it's true. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Back in the polka dot dude.
Yeah.
That Biggie disc.
Yeah. What about?
So that's all he does is collect toys. He's been on several of them shows, like the toy shows and all that. And then he still does his IG. That's how he's still relevant. He does Toys Tuesdays. And he got a big following. You know, there's a lot of us like that, you know, that collect, but he collect everything. He's just a toy fanatic, period. He like toys. I like specific toys.
Yeah.
You know, anything from the 80s when I was a kid, because it's the nostalgia. Because certain shit I wanted, I couldn't get.
So you want to get it now?
I won't get it now.
Make sure you got to get the Thundercat car. Remember the Thundercat car?
I had that.
You had it. What happened?
See, that's the thing about Thundercats. Like, I had all of them. That's why it's not an urgency. I had damn near everything Thundercats had.
Okay.
Transformers was a little bit more expensive, especially like the combiners.
Oh, the ones that you can put together and make.
Yeah, so I had all the Voltron. I had all the lines. It's not an urgency. I like some of that stuff I couldn't get. It was rare, and then it was expensive. You see, so that's why I have a burning like infatuation with Transformers. Like, I wanted all the aerial bots. I still can't get all the aerial. $800. I still can't damn near afford it. I'll be looking like, I want to get it. No, not this time. I'll be get it. So I still got like a bunch of. I still want the Stunner Cons. I still got shit I want to get.
Oh, so you got the aerial bots. You got the animal. What's the animal one that just did the movie about?
The animal was after my time. I was a teenager. I was in the girls by then, but I don't know about the animals. I know about.
So you had so you got the original Autobots. You got all of those. Then you have the one that the one that did the construction work. That was a backhoe, a cement truck.
Right, construction.
Yeah, that.
What it was called? Devastator.
Okay, yeah, and then you have the aerial bots that turned into the
Superior.
That was on Megatron them side.
Nah, they was on. There used to be, but if you look at the story, they used to be in Cybertron, but they portrayed. They if you look at the backstory, that's another thing. They have all the backstories and the comic books and all that stuff. So you got to get into all that stuff. It's nerd stuff, But
I hate it.
Yeah, so the backstory, they used to be Decepticons, but they traded.
And they went back to
and then there's two alternate. There's one that they reformed, and they used to be all one bots. So it's a couple of different stories with the aerial bots. But I wanted them, could never afford them, and I got to get them. I still ain't got it yet. Because if you look at them, it was on sale $400, but now they jumped to $800.
Damn.
And it's not the fact I can't afford it. It's like, damn, that's a lot for a toy. It was the same way when I was a kid. Because I think they were like $80 back then.
It's vintage now, man.
Yeah,
you can honestly say that it's going to increase in value.
Now they remade it. It's bigger.
Mm.
So the Generation 1, that's going to be even rare. It's going to be probably several $1,000s to find the G1 original.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely can't afford that, but I just want the remake. So I just have to have a crazy commission check. I might go and get it. You know what I mean? So, but
I hear you, dog. I hear you.
Yeah, it's an infatuation, man. So, but my point is that you're not the only one, bro. Put it out there.
Mm.
In fact, that's actually a thing. Like, looking into the yard work is a thing.
It is. Because I watch dudes all the time do it when they put what type of fertilizer they put down. So I know what kind of fertilizer they put down.
You could do the same thing and then put it. That improves your digital footprint. And oh yeah, by the way, I do real estate.
True.
There you go. That's your way in. You can't, because just talking about real estate is boring. That's why I don't just talk about real estate. We're talking about real estate, but we're talking about other stuff to how to get into real estate, how to market real estate, where the market's going. And we'll just talk about, hey, this house, the trend is, 3.5 people. Nobody want to hear about that. The trend is, 300, 350,000 is, and what people.
Nobody wants to hear about that. That's true.
Nobody want to hear about that, man. So a lot of people, I think they come with these earnest money. Earnest money means something. They try. Well, how many shows can you do like that?
You only can do a few. The ones you start out with, that's about it.
That's it, and they drop off. That's why I try to stay away from that. I try to stay make it sexy, fun topics that's interesting that you can relate to, even if you're in real estate or you're thinking about getting real estate, or you just you're thinking about getting a house. So this is intricate stuff to the business. So let's go ahead and wrap it up, man. I see you getting. It's been about. Yeah, it's actually been over. Oh, damn, I ain't.
Yeah, we ain't talking about good stuff, man. We're here discussing good stuff, man.
All right, so, man, we're gonna see you next week, man. Hopefully, the guys get the memo next week. I think we're gonna have a builder on next week. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we're gonna have a female builder on.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I forgot her name. Pardon me, but she's gonna be on next week.
So we gotta get our builder questions together.
Get your builders questions together. So she makes some. If you look at the house tours, the very first one was CJ. That's her. She was on there, and she did that house.
Is that the one out in Richmond?
No, this was in Upper Kirby.
The two-story joint.
It was 3-story. 3-story with the had the kitchen on, and like they had the kitchen on each floor, I think.
Yeah, I gotta go look at that.
Yeah, it's a nice house. They try to do stuff different. You know how we try to do stuff fly.
Is that the one that was 1.3 million?
Yeah, it was 1.3.
Okay, I know the one you're talking about. I just looked at that just now, about maybe an hour or so ago when I was going through the thing
with the electric fireplace in the bed in the bedroom.
Yeah, I didn't look at. I just seen it had 1.3 million with CJ in the front. Right. I didn't click on the video yet.
Yeah, so she do luxury.
That's the only one y'all actually put the price tag on the front of the video, 1.3 million as a part of the thumbnail.
I got one that's 4.something million.
But you didn't put it on the thumbnail.
Yeah, I did. It's on the thumbnail. I got a couple of that's everything on House Tour Lux is $1 million on up.
Yeah, no.
So that's the kind of area we're going to. But the House Tour Express was supposed to be everything 800,000 or below, 800 to 400,000. Express. That's a good way to put it. And then we were going to do deal of the day, which is anybody listening. I got to get back to it. I was going to do deal of the day like 2 or 3 times a week, where just any listing the got to get, but it's a long shot. But I need to do it back because this is the algorithm. The algorithm. I'm giving up 2 games. I got it. Let's talk about this off air. Let me go ahead and hit it, man. Y'all got to tune into my course to get this game. So, see y'all next week, man.